Satan loses in the end. His home gets destroyed. It gets thrown down to the earth, blown up in the smithereens by the heavenly fire and the hail. Yeshua comes back 42 months later and wraps him up in a chain. Well, Michael does that, but under the authority of Yeshua, who raises the dead, his people, from Sheol, resurrection happens. The kingdom comes down, the Mother Jerusalem, as we talked about. It's really a war of kingdoms, right? You got the Mount Zion versus the Mount Olympus or Mount Meru, Satan's mountain, Boat of Ra. And it's just this war that's been going on since the early days, right? The seed war, if you will.
Yes, it's a long-standing war, and all that we're doing tonight is showing you how the Father has already told us how he's going to wrap this thing up. So that's the part that I hope everyone remembers. He's going to wrap this thing up. It's going to be beautiful. We won't have to worry about this anymore. Leaders of the nations won't be deceived anymore. It's going to be great.
There will be no more solar eclipses. Hallelujah.
That's right.
Nothing left to block out the sun.
So this is a teaser I made for part 21 of my Investigating Babylon series, and it's everything about what we're just talking about right now. I just found some like imagery from like different video games and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this one was the point where I tried to symbolize this is that trumpet being blown.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have the trumpet being blown.
It's a big old shofar.
Right. And then in the sublunary world,
there's Diana Artemis.
You have them looking up. They're in they're in Mother Babylon, the unclean spirits, and then the unclean spirits.
Yeah.
His other warriors, and then Satan himself. He's looking up when he hears the trumpet, and he's already in this sky castle. Even in this video game, they're showing you the end.
What game is that?
I think this one was pulled from like Diablo or something.
Blizzard.
And so then he gets up, and then, so then I tried to show the actual balls of fire and stone falling, and then hitting that sky castle.
Yeah.
Which it has the symbolism, the sigil right there on the door.
Did it?
And then it's got, they're getting out of the way. And so the idea was that there's your
circle,
your labyrinth, which also is like the Eye of Ra symbol, right? The Ra symbol.
It did.
So the mountains of fire destroying the whole Mount Olympus idea, and then of course the battle itself with the whomever's up there, whatever's up there,
some giants,
and then here he is himself with his little beetle scarab thing, and he's getting mad because his place is being destroyed. This would be right here. This little moment I thought was hilarious, because this would be like Michael and his angels actually walking into Mother Babylon and about to actually confront Azazel.
Yeah.
That's why I've never really actually reviewed any of these teasers I made. I just make them and just put them out.
I love this play-by-play. Yeah.
But
it's cool.
But this is my mind when I was putting all this together from the scriptures. And so then they're destroying his entire Mount Olympus, his entire abode. And then they're walking in to face him. And then he turns into the dragon. And
Mikey Jenny's here. Shout out Mikey. He said this game got a Gnostic plot like the Mario Bros movie. Yeah, in the Mario Bros movie, there was a sky castle too.
Bowser. Sky Castle for Bowser, absolutely. And so then you got, the final straw where it's about to be thrown out of the sky right here, this small little scene. All this is from a video game, guys. It's all just telling you the story of the 42 months, the fall of Mother Babylon, the destruction of Satan. And then there's even another moment I spliced into a different teaser to where Michael shows up. So there's a good angel that shows up to fight a bad angel, and they literally got little glowing angel wings, and they're fighting each other, and you know what I mean? And it's in another sky castle. It's crazy. They show you blatant stuff in these video games. A lot of the parents right now, like the Generation X and older, they don't realize the indoctrination is heavier in the video games than it is in the cinemas.
It really is, isn't it? Because they'll tell a whole story, and it takes hours and hours to finish the game with all the cutscenes. That's a slide I wanted to make that I didn't have time for, is just showing all the video games that have it, like Destiny. Destiny video game has a sphere called the Traveler.
The Traveler.
People are out there speculating because they don't know the end of the series yet. Is the Traveler really a bad guy?
Yeah, but the Traveler was the name for Odin.
Yeah, it was
in Norse mythology. So and there's also, that Zeus would impersonate people. There's also another god attributed to an avatar of Brahma in ancient India who was also considered the Traveler. He would show up and be a trickster and do things amongst mankind. So it's amazing. It's amazing that these video games, I don't know who's making them. But whatever they're being influenced by, whatever's in
Right.
their Mountain Dew and their programming, but bro, they are absolutely telling you the narrative of the enemy 100%. And
Repeatedly.
thankfully, the Bible's already told us all this stuff. We're just pulling from that imagery to show you what the Bible's already telling you. We're not saying that demonic video games and movies have the truth. They're obviously going to show you a twisted version of it. So
Right.
that's why we try to lean on the scriptures tonight, just to pull it all back to showing you like, hey, Christ is going to win. And there's a process for how this happens. And it starts with the 42 months of the judgment of Michael standing up on behalf of Israel and kicking Mother Babylon out of the sky. So how fitting is it, WesBlaze, that now we have all these official reports of supposed spheres showing up everywhere?
Exactly. And then the Pentagon calling it a parent ship. And then every time it's repeated on the news, they specifically use the language a mothership. I think it's just too appropriate, too on the nose. They are revealing little bit by bit the plot as it thickens.
Yeah, the average person would think to themselves, like, there's no way that they would actually call it Mother Babylon, because that would be too easy for people to find the Bible and sync it up, right? There's no way they would actually do that. But no. Yes, there is a way they would do that. The average person is not reading the Bible, especially now if they're going to get you trapped into a VR world like with the Apple glasses, and they're going to get you, they're going to be augmenting your reality 23 out of 24 hours out of your day. Like, of course they could do that. It would be super easy for them to actually trick the future generations that get more delved into this digital world, for them not to read the Bible, not to understand these things. And then they could literally, before long, it's not just Mothership. Before long, they tell you, oh, it's your ancient panspermia predecessors. They were here back in the day, and that they started the great kingdom of Babylon and then went off to the stars, and they came back. This is technically Mother Babylon, the originator of ancient Babylon and all the tech of the ancient world. Yeah, you were right. You got us. Yeah, we didn't really tell you the truth. You got us. They did really have tech back in the days, but we'll tell you the truth now. And here's the originations of Babylon. It's actually super advanced predecessors of mankind that have come back to share their tech with us to cure cancer and all this stuff, to give us some increased Fauci juice.
Yeah. And with the rapid advancement of AI, yeah, they'll be able to do a lot of that kind of stuff with the augmented reality. Like you said, those Apple glasses, man, for $3,500 though. I don't know how many people they'll be able to fool, but it'll get cheaper. It'll get more available, more readily accessible.
You'll be getting a free pair with a purchase of something on Amazon.
Your vaccine
within 10 years. Yeah, get your free pair with the vaccine.
Got to say it one last time. Investigating Babylon. It's a 21-part series. Make time for it if you want to understand these things better. If you want to understand things like, how come we can't see it more often on a regular basis? How come that lady said it was able to just fade off and blend in with the background? Sean covers lots of ideas about how it's able to do that. How is it able to fly? How is a physical structure that massive able to levitate and be quantum locked up against the firmament? Maybe Sean covers all these different ideas about how maybe it would do that.
Five. Yeah. In part 20, we go over five different actual scientific. This is not super science that's experimental. This is like well-known science that can make this a reality, and that you just had the right materials. And you could do it, actually, technically, if the government actually allowed you to build something like this. But it's not impossible. This is not impossible science, guys. This is not super science. This is just basic physics that they figured out in a very clever way to use. I mean, what does it say about the serpent, right? He's the most clever, most subtle